Hi, my name is Parag. I am a master student at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. In this video, I will talk about our recent work on active squared learning for sequence tagging and machine translation. Let's start with active learning. Supervised learning requires labeling of data, which can be quite expensive because deep learning literally requires millions of examples to perform well. Active learning addresses this problem. AL, as shown in the diagram, is a human-in-the-loop learning technique where the algorithm proactively selects the subset of examples to be labeled next from the pool of unlabeled data. The fundamental belief behind this concept is that a machine learning algorithm could potentially reach a higher level of accuracy while using a smaller number of labeled training examples if it were allowed to choose the data it wants to learn from. This is a very widely explored area and there are a lot of existing literatures for the same. Here are a few AL strategies for NLP tasks. The top 3 are used for training models to learn sequence tagging tasks and the bottom 3 are used for training machine translation models. Let's take margin-based strategy for example. It assigns a score to class labels and we select a particular sample to be labeled only if the difference between the two top scores is less than some threshold. Intuitively, the scores assigned to a more confusing samples tends towards a more uniform distribution. Again, let's take least confidence strategy as an example. This strategy ranks all samples according to some confidence factor and then we select a subset having the lower confidence scores. Alright, so now let's gradually move towards active squared learning idea. The main drawback of AL strategies is that they do not have any mechanism to eliminate redundancies among the selected samples. It's quite intuitive that some measure of similarity among samples is required to discover redundancy. Many similar examples share the same property that confuse the model, for example, sentence structure, and hence satisfy an AL strategies selection criterion. AL strategies redundantly select all these examples, leading to a higher annotation cost when in practice it is enough to label only a few of these examples, ideally even just one. A simple dot product is not enough to capture the complexity of the sentence structures in context of the downstream task. It might happen that sentences having low cosine similarity in the input space may still be similar in the embedding space of the downstream task, but encoder of the model being trained for this task has no incentive to distinguish among such samples. Therefore, we need to model similarity in context of the downstream task. That is, we need some sort of model awareness. And we are showing two approaches for model aware similarity computations. We will start with model aware CMHIS model. After that, we will look at the integrated clustering model as well. In this approach, we start with an auxiliary dataset like SIG or CODA pairs, which have sentence pairs and their corresponding similarities. We then use a CMHIS twins network to compute pairwise similarity between the encoding obtained from the base model as shown in this figure. The encoding obtained from the base model gives a context to the current state of the deep learning model and enables model awareness. Once the model has been trained, this is how we do redundancy elimination. In the figure, we can see that at the inference time, the network gives us a model-aware sentence embedding as vectors. So assume that we have 4 such vectors in the embedding space, A, B, C, and D, corresponding to 4 unlabeled sentences provided by the active learning strategy. We convert it to a graph by assigning the exponentiated L2 norm of the difference between the vectors as the edge weights. We calculate weights for each possible edges. Then we perform spectral clustering on the graph. Assuming that A and B were close and similarly C and D were also close, they are expected to be assigned to same clusters. Finally, we can just sample A instead of B as a representative example from the first cluster because taking both would be redundant. Similarly, we can sample D from the other cluster. Usually what we do is we sample a subset of sentences corresponding to each of the K clusters where K is a hyperparameter. Now let's look at another approach for computing model-aware similarity. Recall the spectral clustering step that I had mentioned earlier. The time complexity of spectral clustering is order of n cubed, so that puts a bottleneck in our pipeline. The amount of data that can be processed at a time needs to be limited for limiting the overhead of the computation cost. We propose an integrated clustering model which can assign a cluster to the sentences in linear time. While training, we take 3 sentences, 2 of them similar and 1 dissimilar. Then we enforce the model to maximize the chances that the similar sentences get assigned to the same label while the dissimilar one gets assigned a different label. There is also a batch entropy term which encourages the output towards uniform distribution in the class labels. For more details on this training, please refer to our paper. This is a block diagram for active squared learning. Note that our method is not an AL strategy but an additional redundancy detection step in the loop which eliminates redundant queries in the context of the base model. This effectively helps to reduce the amount of examples required for training, thus also reducing annotation cost. Alright then, let's look at some of the results now. But first, a quick note about our experimental settings. Our method is independent of the architecture of both the base model and the model-aware similarity computation model, so we can use anything from RNNs to transformers. For our experiments, however, we have used bidirectional LSTM with a continuous random field for the sequence tagging base model, LSTM encoder with attention decoder for machine translation task base model, and a bidirectional LSTM for MA-CMS and int models. We compared the performance of the MA-CMS and int model against the following baselines. First, we compare against randomly sampled examples after each epoch. Next, we compare against sampling using just the AL strategies without the A squared L step. And finally, we also compare against the dot product similarity instead of the model-aware similarity computations. We plot F-scores against data percentage for the part of speech tagging task. Notice the MA-CMS and int model, that is the black and the cyan lines, perform consistently better than the baseline irrespective of the AL strategies used. Also notice the steepness of the curve. We are reaching very high performance using very little amounts of data. For example, in the BALT strategy, we have around 90 F-score with just 1/5 of the training data. Next, we look at similar plots for the named entity recognition task as well. We have also experimented with other sequence tagging tasks like semantic traits and chunking, where we have seen consistent performance improvement as well. For more results, please refer to our paper. Now this table shows the fraction of data used for reaching full data performance. We can also see 3 to 25 absolute percentage improvement using A squared L instead of BALT strategy. Now we move on to the more challenging problem of machine translation. Again, we can see that our method performs better than various AL strategies. We have also experimented with word level tokenization versus subword level tokenization, and we can see that we are achieving consistently better performance over all the baselines. Finally, let's look at some of the ablation studies we performed. The first ablation shows the necessity of model-aware CMS network. We compare part of speech tagging performance of our model against isolated CMS model, where we input pre-trained glove vector embeddings instead of the base model embeddings, and we also compare against inferred sentence embeddings from Facebook. We can see that our method performs superior to both of them. The second ablation shows the comparison of time taken for one data selection step in machine translation task by our models. It can be observed that active squared learning adds only a negligible overhead to the overall process, which is just around 1/12 of the time taken by the active learning strategy. The third ablation shows the comparison between various components of our approach in terms of training time for the machine translation task. It can again be observed that the method adds a negligible overhead to the overall training time. It's just around 0.45% of the total time taken by the base model. The fourth ablation shows the number of samples processed per second by the spectral clustering algorithm compared to the integrated clustering methods. We can see that the number of examples processed per second quickly reduces in the spectral clustering step when more number of samples are provided at a time. However, it remains almost consistent in the integrated model. To summarize, we have seen that AL strategies cannot detect redundancy among the queries it selects. We have also seen that simple dot product similarity is not enough for detecting redundancy in context of the downstream task. Hence, there is a need of model-aware similarity computations. We then see two approaches for the said model-aware similarity computation, namely MA-Siamese and int clustering model. Finally, we have seen empirical results that show our approaches consistently perform better than existing techniques whilst adding negligible computational overhead. So the codes for the experiments are available at the given link, and thank you.